Hello, everyone, and welcome to the On Your Head Son podcast. It is international break, which means we are doing an international special.
Oh, exciting. We love international football, we do. So, yeah.
Do we?
Yeah, we do, yeah. Well, you're going to hear all about it in the next kind of 20 minutes, half an hour. But, yeah, we love it.
We really love it. As we spoke about last week, we're going to be doing a session on rants. We asked some of you to come in with some rants that you wanted us to speak about.
A lot of responses.
A lot of responses.
Thank you, fans.
Absolutely. And so, but we've got a good little mix here today of things to talk about. How are you, Matt? How was your weekend? I mean, I saw you yesterday.
Yeah, we did. Yeah. So we went to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, doing White Hart Lane, and yeah, then we watched the NFL on Sunday, which was good. We watched the Titans against the old Ravens.
Yeah.
Bit of a nothing game, but still a really good day out.
Yeah.
I've been to the NFL a few years running, haven't we? So yeah, brilliant day. Yeah, it was good fun.
Yeah, we thought we'd use the international break to explore a different type of football. And it was a great day.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Really enjoyed it.
Yeah,
Because I've not watched any international football at all. And I think let's get straight in with that first point that we've got, which is how boring are international breaks?
They are dreadful. Like, honestly, I think like Redknapp described it like a couple of years ago on BT Sport, where he literally just said it's just like a dead fortnight. It's like you're waiting for Palace versus Burnley to actually play again. So yeah, it's just a dead 2 weeks, and I mean, I don't know anyone but watching England Australia at all. And then obviously it's England Italy tomorrow. Exciting, but I mean, who cares? Like it's really one of it. It's just dead, and you just feel like you could change the scheduling quite easily.
Yeah. So
you just don't have these fortnightly breaks in the middle of a season when everything's just getting going. You're just getting to the Premier League again, and then it's just like, and we're back against Australia, Malta.
Yeah.
Playing against part-time players, XYZ. So yeah, not the most exciting, but yeah, big win, wasn't it? 1-0. Ollie Watkins, Villa. Go on, doing well.
I think the main thing for me with international football, particularly as an England fan, there is nothing to gain by watching England play. The absolute best emotion that you can get from watching England play in an international break and the qualifying is meh. And that's if you win 6-0, you're like, yeah, we should win 6-0 against Malta.
Yeah.
If you draw, then you actually get a bit down. So there's nothing to gain from me watching international football.
Yeah.
Particularly England.
I agree. Yeah. I think the best emotion is we've been lucky enough to go to Wembley a few times and watch England Slovenia.
Yeah.
England Slovakia. Maybe even England Malta one time.
Yeah.
And I think the best emotion. I think one game sticks in my memory. It was just before a World Cup or Euros. And we won 2-0. It was a Gary Cahill header and a Wayne Rooney penalty.
Excellent.
It was one of the worst matches I think I've ever been to.
Well, no. What about the paper aeroplane?
Oh, and the paper aeroplane. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I think it was that game actually.
It was the paper
Yeah,
aeroplane.
exactly. Yeah, so that was the most exciting thing. Obviously, I think it's changed a little bit. Obviously, with Southgate coming in and then kind of giving that kind of feel good, but still, those qualifiers.
Isn't it baffling though? Like, so how we're saying how boring it is, but the second you get to a major tournament, you get so excited. It's like the best version of football there is.
Yeah.
Because the most passionate I'll ever be is watching England play in a European Championships or a World Cup. But qualifying for them, unless we look like we're about to get knocked out,
Greece.
got no interest.
Greece, for example, 2001, that Beckham documentary obviously came out. That was that was probably the highest I think a qualifier can get, really.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's different, but
I don't know what the solution to that is.
No, I mean, obviously, like Gary Lineker's obviously doing a lot of these podcasts now and stuff like that, and he was talking about how when he played, it was all you didn't really play against any of the little teams at all. It was all, every game you played was all against like an Argentina or a Uruguay, a Italy, Spain, France, like big teams, and you don't get these gimmies like against a a Malta, a San Marino, and Andorra. But obviously, it's where we play every single year. We probably don't, but it just feels like you just always should be winning 6-8-0. Yes, it's strange, but
do you not think that maybe it would be better if they put a break into the middle of the season and they had like a month where all international teams do their bit and they all play each other to do their qualifying and everything, rather than breaking it up every
completely agree.
month or two? and I think you then get behind it more.
Yeah.
You because it's just so broken.
Well, exactly,
at the
because
moment.
it's also a different squad not if you get the same main players, obviously,
Yeah.
but it's a different fringe players, for example.
Yeah.
And I think you get that kind of collective kind of spirit, whatever it is, when you're all together, say, before a tournament, you're there together for a month, and then...
They actually will probably play better as well because they have time
exactly.
to work with each other, whereas at the moment, Jared Bowen is playing with Ollie Watkins, he's probably never really met the guy that well, and then you're just told to play with each other.
Exactly.
You meet them for 2 or 3 days, they're not going to have the best chemistry.
Completely agree.
So maybe that's a good idea. One point that I will say is something that our good friend of the podcast, Mr. Ali,
Alistair Yeoman,
made the point, and he's a Welsh fan. And what did he say?
Yeah, so I mean, like, he goes back to Wales with his dad. It's like kind of like a little routine for him, where him and his dad go to all the Wales home games, which is brilliant. And he absolutely loves going to them because you are that underdog, and it's a different mentality when you go. Say you're playing against they played against Croatia and they won. And he loves going to those games. He says like the passion of the fans is amazing. It's so different to my experience of going to an England game, but it's that underdog mentality, I think, as well.
I'm not sure. It's just for them. It's competitive, and it's a real opportunity for them to qualify to get to a major competition.
Yeah.
Whereas that England, it's just expected.
Exactly.
You just expect that England will be there.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Italy have missed out on a few recently, and they're obviously an absolute powerhouse. But I mean, we're playing them on Tuesday, but they're in transition, aren't they? So
they are. Yeah. As Claudio was saying, actually, the team in
another
transition.
Friend of the podcast.
Another friend of the podcast. So many friends of the podcast.
Yeah, exactly.
Team in transition, indeed. But sorry, coughed a bit then.
Yeah.
I think that's a really, really interesting thing. It just shows how privileged we are as England fans that we actually have the ability to think that it's boring.
Yeah.
Because for most other teams, it's so exciting to watch their teams play international football because they don't always make these big tournaments. Yeah. So that is the only opportunity that they get to watch.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Imagine playing at Wembley. Say you're a multiplayer who literally works in a Tesco's or the Malton equivalent of Tesco's.
What is the Maltese version of Tesco?
Carrefour, why not?
Carrefour, yeah.
I don't know what else. Casino, what else is? One of them. But one of those. Other stores are available. And then they obviously play at Wembley in front of 80,000 people. It must be absolutely amazing. On Tuesday you were scanning stuff down an aisle, and then now you're it's pretty cool.
Very good, very good. I want to go to Malta now and try and find a Tesco's there. There may well be one. There was a Tesco in Thailand actually when I went to Thailand. Yeah,
cool. What's the capital of Thailand?
The capital of Thailand is Bangkok.
That's funny.
Very funny, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right, going back to the football. Obviously spoke about how condensed the schedule is, and I think that's another rant that we want to talk about right now.
Yeah.
And particularly how international football is affecting that. Players and managers and pundits and everyone are constantly saying these guys are playing too much football. They're going to burn out. They're going to injure themselves. By the end of the season, they're not playing the same level.
Yeah.
I think that these international breaks are a massive problem in that.
I completely agree. I mean, you look at Klopp. Klopp's probably like the biggest kind of most outspoken person about these kind of breaks and stuff like that, and about how they don't get any breaks at all. But that's probably the way they play as well. It's very intense and very draining on the body. I mean, what is the point in going for these 2 weeks away? Like, really, what is the point at all for, say, De Bruyne to go play for Belgium and fly wherever he's going? And, the scheduling's just horrible for them. They're just adding more and more tournaments, like, for example, the Nations League. We have the Club World Cup, which has always been going. But it's just more and more games for these players. And now you have added time is now an extra 10, 11 minutes or whatever. So then that's a little bit more strain.
But I don't think so. I strongly believe that is not a problem, and that should not be
argued. The extra 10, 11 minutes?
Because no.
Complete.
And there should actually be more. Yeah. So the Arsenal versus Tottenham game a couple of months ago, the ball was in play for 52 minutes.
Yeah.
52. Yeah. And there was about 10 to 12 minutes of added time.
Yeah.
But that's still not enough. There should have been like half an hour.
Well, exactly.
So the problem is not that there's longer injury times. We're getting more football. That's what we want.
Yeah.
The problem is the scheduling.
Yeah, the scheduling. Yeah.
On top of that, they're changing the Champions League format to more games. More games. I mean, that's not international football, but we could rant about that new format.
That is the worst
till the
format.
cows
That's
come
the
home.
worst format. Maybe we'll do a Champions League special in the next couple of weeks or so.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be quite good.
Yeah.
I mean, it's appalling.
Mm.
It really is. Like, the scheduling for these players is horrible. Like, and you look across Europe, every single European top flight has a Christmas break, and I love Premier League at Christmas. Like, that kind of period is so much fun. But it kills those players, and you can tell, like, actually when we come to a World Cup, I actually think it's impacted a lot in the past.
Yeah.
Where other teams are actually a lot fresher than us because they've had that 2-3 weeks off in beginning of January, end of December. And Harry Kane's, he was actually saying he's excited about it because it's his first year he's actually been able to actually maybe go spend Christmas wherever, go on holiday, whatever he wants to do. It's just completely stupid. But that would also work. Say if you did have that kind of time off, so say you ended the Premier League December, started back in February, you have that 6-week window there of international football. I think that worked. That's quite nice, and that's where you play every year.
Yeah.
And that way you give your your fringe players who aren't really playing, who don't really play international football, they can go on a break, come back, and almost have like a little pre-season. But it's just stupid.
I put the most stupid games are the ones that are after the end of the Premier League season, or any season for any country. Like last year, they had a long, grueling season, especially with the World Cup put in the middle of it.
Yeah.
And then England played against Malta and North Macedonia after. No one cares.
Friendlies.
They weren't friendlies, they were qualified.
Oh, fine.
But I think we won 7-0 and 4-0.
Yes. Come on.
Yes.
Come on.
So exciting. You can hear from my voice how excited I am about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's too much. It's too much.
Completely agree. And I mean, Rodri, do you remember played the Champions League final on the Saturday night and then played on the Tuesday night for Spain?
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Nations League.
Yeah. Only won the Nations League as well, didn't he?
Yeah.
Just ridiculous.
I agree.
Yeah.
That's a nice little segue.
Yeah.
Spain. Spain. So we have been asked to talk about the locations
Plural
of the World Cup 2030. It's going to be in 6 different countries. It's going to be in Spain, Morocco, and Portugal.
Stop there. That's right. Keep that. Just have those 3.
I'm not Infantino. I'm not.
Just keep those 3.
I'm not in charge of FIFA. I'm not the one that makes that call.
I know. Yeah, but just keep those 3.
I agree. I think that would be a brilliant World Cup.
Yeah, so do I. Yeah.
However, as a homage to the fact that it's 100 years since the first ever World Cup, we're having the first 3 games in Uruguay, Paraguay, and Argentina.
And then just a short flight over to Spain and Morocco. Okay, fine. Yeah, it doesn't work, does it?
It's just
it doesn't work at all.
It's just going to be rubbish.
It's a joke, isn't it? It's obviously, as you put there, paving the way for something special in 2034 or 2038. I can't remember which.
I think it will probably be 2034.
Yeah.
So it's like, first of all, it's bonkers, this whole idea. 3 continents, 1 tournament. Not a fan.
No.
What is happening is, what you've got to remember with World Cups, so different organisations. So UEFA look after Europe, CONMEBOL look after South America, CONCACAF look after the North America. I don't know the name of the Asian Federation, the Asian or the African federations.
Yeah, nor do I.
But anyway, they all have their own federations. And so every single year, every single World Cup announcement, these federations all bid against each other. And it generally works that they go in order. So if you think about it logically, the last World Cup was in Qatar, which is part of the Asian Federation. The one coming up is in North America, in Canada, Mexico, and the US.
I mean, that still is unbelievably far, isn't it?
That is
Imagine playing a
unbelievably
game
far.
in Vancouver and then going down to Mexico City. It's a completely different climate, a completely different. Yeah, I don't know what that flight time is, like 5 hours, 6 hours at least. Yeah,
definitely.
Ridiculous.
But So, as everyone knows, Saudi Arabia is trying to take over the world of football. Well, not take it over, but be the considered as one of the biggest
leagues
in the world. They're doing it with lots of other sports as well. So, what this decision does, it knocks out the European, the African, and the South American argument for future World Cups. So this is paving the way for most likely Saudi Arabia 2034. Whether that will be shared with another country, we don't know.
Australia, maybe.
Australia, that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. Exactly.
I think so.
Joke. Yeah.
Absolute joke. I think that. Yeah, that is why it's happened.
Yeah, definitely.
And the Saudis are throwing a lot of money at FIFA and at football in general.
I do want to say though about the kind of centenary, obviously the anniversary of it. Having a tournament, I know Uruguay probably can't afford it at the moment with kind of the actual cost of running a tournament being absolutely obscene. But I think it's quite nice going back there after 100 years if obviously the actual tournament just stayed there. Stayed in those 3 countries. I think that's quite a nice touch.
Yeah.
But the fact that you have 3 games there and then everyone has to fly over is just doesn't make any sense to me.
No, I mean if it was possible, I think it'd be amazing to see another South American World Cup. Brazil was superb.
I agree. Yeah.
And that's almost the dream World Cup.
No, I know. That was literally
Paraguay, Uruguay, Argentina.
I'd love that more than any. I think looking back, kind of like at World Cups that I remember being unbelievable. Kind of obviously 2014 Brazil looks absolutely amazing. I mean, that looked really good. 2002 South Korea and Japan. I think that looks amazing. And then I don't know, looking back over time, obviously seeing clips and stuff like that, I think Italia 90 had that, and I think Mexico 86. Those are the ones that, and I think my dream World Cup would be revolved around kind of South American countries. Yeah. The Latin kind of, I'd love that. Yeah. I wish I went to that Brazilian one. I wasn't quite old enough then.
Yeah. The passion for the game down there is next level. I went to just a cup game when I was in Brazil, and they're just jumping and like the entire time. They're almost not even watching the football. Just so passionate about their club. It's amazing. So yeah, wholly agree with that idea, but yeah.
Not Saudi. Saudi is not my dream World Cup at all.
Well, no, and the other thing as well, regardless of the federations, we've just had a Qatari World Cup, which obviously very similar areas of the world. So you would imagine that the feel would be quite similar.
Yeah, definitely.
It would be very modern, immense stadiums, quite clinical, but not a country that's renowned for having passionate football, and football is growing there, and people are going crazy for it. We've seen like with Ronaldo going, but we've just had that in Qatar. I think we can wait, in my opinion, another 20 years until another Middle Eastern World Cup.
Completely agree with that. Yeah, so where would your dream World Cup be? Would it be kind of that Argentina, Brazil? I mean, South Africa was pretty cool.
Yeah,
that was quite a cool World Cup.
That's a really good question. Yeah. I think it probably would be a South American World Cup. I think almost what we've got there is almost amazing. Yeah, Argentina to host a World Cup again would be
Messi's farewell.
Imagine it would be so poetic.
Yeah, that would be lovely. I mean, I'm not sure he'd win, but we might do.
Yeah.
They haven't conceded a goal since the World Cup final.
Yeah.
Do that. Yes. Pretty cool.
I also I'm kind of doing a bit of a cop-out answer here. I also think that Spain, Morocco, Portugal would be really, really good.
I completely agree.
I think it'll be, and the nice little mix of cultures there, I think will work really well. And they're so close to each other, like across the Mediterranean, that I think that'll work really, really well.
Yeah.
I guess it would like to see another like Far Eastern one again, but then I'm thinking where.
Yeah.
And I'm almost thinking actually it's like South Korea and Japan. I want that again.
Yeah, no, same. Yeah, I think that was amazing. But I think it works better. Like Qatar is the perfect size for World Cup. Like that kind of distance from each other. I think it's quite nice where every stadium I think was an hour from Doha. Like max. I love those ones where you don't necessarily have to travel so far to each game, because it's just for the fans. You just like Russia, for example, you're pricing out so many fans there. I don't know. Yeah, it's just quite cool. But I mean, saying that, I mean Brazil's absolutely massive.
Yeah,
and so
it's
just contradicting myself. But don't know.
Yeah, but let us know what you think. What is your dream World Cup? I think the reality is that from now on, because there's so many countries that want to host the World Cup, we're going to have more multi-country hosts. I think it's going to be rare that we'll have one country hosting for now, apart from maybe Saudi.
Yeah. I was going to say.
But
Saudi and Qatar, if they pay enough money, then they
yeah,
can have whatever they want, can't they? Really, from FIFA.
Yeah, I agree. But not a fan of that decision at all. The other decision that was made a while back with the World Cup that I'm not a fan of at all is the new format, increasing to 48 teams. I'm just going to read out exactly what the new format is for those that don't know. So the tournament in which year is it going to be? 2026.
Yes.
Yeah. The USA, Canada, and Mexico will be the first ever to feature 48 teams. For this reason, the 32-team 8-group format has been replaced by one with 12 groups of 4. The top 2 teams in each group, plus the 8 best third-place teams, will advance to the round of 32. That's a lot of football.
A lot of games. You're increasing the games there from 54 to 104 games.
That's almost doubling.
Yeah, it's ridiculous, isn't it? It's I don't really know what to say about that. But it's also, again, you're encouraging more teams to come. Like we said, it is the pinnacle of sport, well, the pinnacle of football for a country to go to the World Cup. So I can understand why you do want to open it up a little bit, but I mean, it's a lot. That's a lot of teams. That's a lot of teams. Increasing from 32 to 48 seems a little bit excessive.
Yeah,
I have to say.
The one silver lining that we do have is that initially
it's not that.
The format was going to be 16 groups of 3, with 2 going through from each group of 3, which is the most. That's not a league.
No,
it's baffling. So at least that's gone. But otherwise, we'd be sitting here and we'd be full on ranting about that, because that actually just ruins the integrity of the sport.
Well, it ruins the start of it. There's no point in those, like, unless, for example, you are a Slovenia or Slovakia who just qualified, and it's like, I could nick it.
Well, it means
one game.
But it's also like each team is only guaranteed 2 games. That's literally it.
No, I know.
That's all you get.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's not happened. But one thing that I do not like with this, and it's a problem that I have with the Euros in its current format as well, is that, so as we said from this one, 8 best placed third teams. I said that wrongly, but I think you understood exactly what I meant.
Team finished third, the highest of points total.
Yeah.
The 8
go through.
Yeah.
Which,
stupid.
It's so stupid. It means that it creates games in the group stages, and we've seen it in the Euros where teams are just going not to lose. That you had that a lot in the most recent one.
Yeah.
The key words we talk about and why we love football is the word jeopardy.
Yeah.
And when you're watching a game where it doesn't really matter who wins, there's no jeopardy, there's no excitement. And that's what this best third place teams format creates.
Completely agree. I think it's one of the worst ideas. The fact that they did it and get started in Euros 2016.
Yeah.
And the third place team, Portugal, obviously ended up going to lift the trophy, and it just completely ruined it for me.
Yeah.
I just wasn't a fan. And it's not because I massively dislike Cristiano Ronaldo. It's that they finished third in their group. They shouldn't be going through to the round of 16, round of 32, whatever it was.
Do you know about this Portugal?
Annoying.
Actually, how many games do you think they won in that tournament?
One.
They won one game.
One, and that's against France.
No.
No, it was against Wales.
Yeah,
Wales.
Against Wales.
Yeah.
So Portugal drew their first 3 games of the group,
and they
got
got
third place. Yeah.
Ronaldo threw he was getting interviewed, and then he threw because they were getting absolutely.
It was Yeah, so they drew their first 3 games. They then beat, I think, Poland on penalties in the second round. I can't remember the team they played next, but they beat them in extra time.
Yeah.
They finally beat Wales in the semis.
2-1 or something.
I think it was 2-0. I can't remember. Yeah. And then they beat France. Beat France in the final on in extra time.
110th minute or something. Yeah.
Eder. Well, basically, I think because Cristiano Ronaldo got injured, I think that he just morphed into Eder on the pitch, and Eder scored
from about 30 yards.
Yeah,
about 30 yards. I mean, Hugo Lloris was in goal, so yeah.
That's not very nice. Hugo Lloris.
Sorry, Hugo. Is he still at Tottenham?
Yeah.
Is he? Fair.
Yeah, I think he's just
sitting there.
Yeah, I don't know why he's not moved.
Top captain.
Bizarre one, really.
Yeah, fair.
But yeah, going back to the point. Yeah. 3rd place.
Fuck off.
Yeah, absolutely. You can do one. Yeah.
Finish 3rd.
Not looking forward to that in the Euros either. The problem is with this is that I get the impression that a lot of the people in charge of these decisions are not real football fans.
No, I agree. Yeah, I mean the FIFA documentary, I think, massively kind of showed that it wasn't really.
Well, yeah, Chuck Blazer. Chuck Blazer. I cannot believe. I cannot believe that I never saw him.
No,
before.
I know.
For those who again haven't watched FIFA documentary, just it's well worth a watch.
Yeah, definitely.
Really good.
Uncovered on Netflix. Yeah, really good.
And there's this chap, North American chap called Chuck Blazer, who he's a big guy.
He's a big man.
He's a big man. He looks like the least likely person to ever be involved in football ever. And he was a little bit crooked, we'll say.
Around the edges.
Yeah.
Around the edges. Yeah.
But yeah, watch it. He just looks so out of place. It's funny.
Yeah. Big man. Very big man.
Very, very big man.
Very big man. Funny, but yeah. But anyway, speaking of the Euros, obviously we've won. We won the Euros 2028.
Hey, get that in your box.
Euro 2028. We're hosting it. So come on.
We're hosting.
Yes, we are hosting. So UK and Ireland, and actually get your tickets for Germany at the moment, everyone, because we've just applied. So get your tickets for Germany. Euro 2024 is going to be good. But yeah, UK and Ireland 2026. 2028. Sorry, yeah. I think that's quite exciting.
I think it is. Yeah. A little bit surprised we got it after the crowd troubles we had quite recently at Wembley, but.
England
fans, there's one stadium in Wales, one in Scotland, one in Northern Ireland, which is an old, going to be an old converted Gaelic football stadium, which that'd be interesting. That'd be cool. Yeah. And then one in Ireland as well. Which, I mean, it's exciting that we've got another tournament coming. Can't wait. The big thing that I hate on this, and it's the same with the FA Cup, and it was the same in the Euros last time, is that both the semi-finals and the finals are at Wembley. Why? Wembley should be saved for that's the goal. You get to Wembley.
Road to Wembley.
Yeah. Having semi-finals there just ruins it, and it takes away the opportunity for either any of the other English stadiums to host a big semi-final, but also we should really be thinking there's one in Scotland and one in Ireland.
Yeah, exactly.
Or one in Northern Ireland and one in Wales. They should be the semi-finals.
I agree. It shouldn't just all be in London.
No.
Yeah, stupid really. I mean, there's no other stadiums in London, is there, from memory? It's Everton, Birmingham,
I don't think so.
And Wembley, and then I can't remember the other ones, but anyway. I agree. It's just you kind of want that as left as kind of obviously England will play there. That's fine. Yeah. And you'll have a few games of a group stage and maybe a quarter match there. But yeah, you don't want that final. Yeah. Do that in Ireland. Do that in Scotland. Have a different fan base. Because otherwise, you just end up becomes a bit corporate.
It does.
It just I mean, Wembley is very corporate, as I think everyone knows who's been there. But But yeah, it's I mean, still exciting to host it again. Obviously, I think we're quite lucky.
I can't wait.
We were so lucky with the Euros last night when we had the semi-finals and final as well. So we literally just had it as well. So it's a bit of a surprise, actually.
So can't wait for that. We've then also has been announced that Euro 2032 will be in Turkey and Italy. Turkey were the main ones that were competing with us for 2028, and as as all countries seem to do, they seem to say, oh well, actually, our bid's not quite as strong as UK, so we'll just go in with Italy and guarantee. So it's an always like an everyone wins situation. That's what they're trying to do. But yeah, Turkey and Italy. I mean, as two countries, both passionate about football. Amazing. I think Turkey would be really interesting.
Yeah, I think so as well.
I'm really excited about that.
Yeah.
However, I mean, on the grand scheme of things, they're not that far. But geographically, they're not really that close to each other.
No.
There's going to be longish flights from that people going there. My mindset is like UEFA and FIFA are saying all these pledges about how like they want to become more environmentally friendly. It's so clear that that's all just corporate nonsense.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's bad, isn't it?
I mean, as the example of the World Cup.
Yeah, exactly. I was just about to say.
But
I mean, Turkey and Italy would be brilliant.
I think it will be a really good tournament.
That would be a good tournament. I mean, two brilliant countries.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll be good fun. I think. I don't know which stadiums are used, but Italy's always great fun. So, and Turkey I've never been. So I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, brilliant.
Definitely.
Well, more on to the Euros for the upcoming one in Germany next year.
Mm-hmm.
Someone commented, and they want us to rant about Southgate. Gareth Southgate. Would you like to rant about Gareth Southgate?
I feel a bit sorry for him in a bit of a way. I mean, he's not a great manager at all. He's not one of the greats. We've done so well in the last two tournaments. Obviously, we got last three tournaments actually. We got semi-final in 2018, 2020 we nearly won it. Got to penalties in the final, so you can't really ask for too much more there.
Yeah.
And then last time we got knocked out by probably the best team in the world, which was France, and we actually outplayed them. And obviously, I know France didn't end up winning it, but at the time it looked like they were. So yeah, I mean, I just feel like with Southgate he's so loyal to certain players. It's actually now it's painful to watch, and it's like you saw Maguire against Scotland mid-September, which is again stupid about the international break. Actually, why on earth do we have one middle of September, one middle of October? Stupid. But anyway. I mean, you saw Maguire getting booed and like laughed at by his home fans, away fans, and it was just horrible to actually see. And it's like Southgate may think that he's doing a good thing for him by always picking him and going like, "You're my man," but actually, it's just toxic. Yeah, for Maguire, I'm saying, and Phillips as well is another example of just where. And Henderson. I mean, he got booed by his own fans, didn't he, against Australia? It's just. He's just so loyal to these kind of players, and it's a bit painful really now to watch. So I think he's done an amazing job.
I think that Gareth Southgate was the absolute perfect man for the job when he came in. Yeah. And I think you've got to remember England fans that before the 2018 World Cup, there was no optimism going to that tournament at all. We didn't think we had anything, any chance.
No.
And Southgate just by introducing a bit more of a good environment, for players to just enjoy themselves and
basically you've got nothing to lose.
And there's obviously all the famous pictures of them all on unicorns whatever, and I think he's done absolutely superbly. Got us to the semi-final, then got us to a final, and then we lost to France in the quarters, and France are arguably, in my mind, the best team in the world. So there's that side to it. The second side to it is that I think, me personally, his time's up. I think that he's done the perfect role in sort of settling everything.
I completely agree.
And it's now time for a better quality manager to come in and feed off the back of that enthusiasm. It shouldn't be like a really like militant particular manager, like someone like Capello. That would be wrong. But just anyone to come in and build on what Southgate's done.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, you look at his subs. Particularly, I mean, we were at the Euros final in 2020 or 2021, but he didn't make a sub until the 116th minute, 115th minute, or whatever, and even against France, there's so many examples of these games where he just hasn't made any difference from the bench. Yeah. It's like we've got a very strong bench. I mean, we've got Foden, Rashford, Saka, Grealish, whoever else that I'm missing loads now, but like so many of those types of players who can like literally just swap in and out, and there's not much difference. And some games it cries out for Rashford, some games it cries out for Grealish, depending on where the space is and stuff like that. And it's and it's just he doesn't quite identify, and he's just so kind of like rigid with his starting 11 that he won't refuse to change it until it's like the 85th minute, and then it's a really defensive sub. And it's just, it never really
inspiring,
it never really fills you with like, kind of like, yeah, come on, that's my man, that's whatever. But he had done an amazing job, so.
I think the fact of the matter is he's a pragmatic manager, to what most people that love football would say a boring manager.
Yeah, I agree.
But a lot of international football, the boring teams do actually win because they don't have the time to put together amazing plays, work on tactics to that level. So actually it's the boring pragmatic managers like Didier Deschamps, for example, at France.
Yeah.
Like obviously Greece won the Euro in 2004 by just sitting back and defending.
Do you remember Spain? Spain's unbelievable team from 2010. They didn't score one goal, over one goal in the game.
Yeah.
They won 1-0 every game, bar a couple where they drew or something.
Yeah, but they're still quite nice to watch.
They were lovely to watch. But I mean, they also had Torres up top, and he wasn't quite performing. So it's a bit of a strange one.
Well, I'm just looking at the stats here. So, they're actually missing someone off here. So Gareth Southgate has the second highest win rate percentage of all time.
Big Sam's on one.
Well, no, but so he's actually third. So
Big Sam?
Well, no. So Big Sam will be first.
Yeah,
so
yeah, 100%.
It's showing Gareth Southgate second and Fabio Capello as the first. 6.7% win percentage. You wouldn't have thought that, would you?
6.7.
66.7.
66.7. Yeah.
And Gareth Southgate 61.9. But yeah, Big Sam won one game late, and Lallana winner, and then drank a pint of wine and lost his job.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
But
that was Saudi related, wasn't it?
I think something like that.
But yeah, funny guy.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you to put your neck on the line.
Go
on. If not Southgate, then who do you bring in?
Don't know. That is the tough one, isn't it? I mean, ideally, complete ideal world, I'd probably go. I genuinely feel with international football that it should be that country's. You can't that country should be the manager as well. Like you should an England team should have an English manager.
100%.
And a Swedish team
should be forced.
Should be forced. Genuinely should be. I don't understand how you can have coaches from a different country.
Mm-hmm.
I think it kind of defeats the whole purpose of international football as well. I mean, you had Capello, who's the highest ever win percentage bar Big Sam. But which manager? So who's English and up and coming? So Eddie Howe's the obvious one.
That's me. I would 100%.
Eddie Howe's the obvious one. Potter's available.
Potter.
But Potter's available. Why not? I'd rather have him than Southgate, I'd say.
Yeah.
Even though I think obviously Chelsea type, but I mean you look at Poch. I mean Poch's struggling with Chelsea at the moment. So I mean So I think Potter would be quite good.
I think the dream appointment would be Eddie Howe.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I mean it was Harry Redknapp, wasn't it, about 10 years ago? Mm-hmm. That would have been pretty cool. Eddie Howe, Potter. That's what I'm going.
Okay.
Yeah. And
very good.
And prediction, I think for us in the Euros.
Yep.
I think we'll win it.
You think we'll win
it? Yeah. Always.
On German soil?
I think we'll win it. Yeah, always. Yeah. Because
we should be there or thereabouts.
We should be caught at semis, final, and it's a toss-up.
Who are the biggest threats in your eyes?
France, Spain. Yes. I don't think Spain is much, but I think Spain can always. Trying to think. I think France is the main one.
I think France is the best team in the world.
Yeah, same. Yeah. I think Spain could pull together a brilliant run.
Portugal are fiery.
Portugal. Well, saw a weird stat where they obviously like a tiny country, but of their national team, I think 10 of the starters all won the league last year, and the only one that didn't was Bruno Fernandes, and Bruno Fernandes is pretty good.
Yeah.
So it's they're a weird like kind of team.
Yeah.
To be honest, how they produce so many like unbelievable talents is ridiculous. Portugal, Spain, France is for big names, isn't it? Germany, no.
Germany are a mess.
They won the other day, finally.
Yeah.
Don't know. Yeah, what about you? Where are we getting to? I think you're winning. That's what I'm going to 2-0 in the final. Harry Kane double. On German soil, he's already been there.
I think it's a semi-final exit to France again.
Yeah,
I think whenever we get France, I think that France is the superior team.
I agree. Yeah, but I think France France really
Yeah.
should have won against Argentina. You'd
Yeah.
say almost. They are a better team.
They're the main ones to worry about, but yes, Portugal for me are the
Yeah.
other ones to
Yeah.
keep an eye on.
Agreed.
Great side.
Yeah.
Great. Well, yeah.
Cool.
Let us know on what you think.
Yeah.
Like,
Where are England getting to?
Where are England getting to? Where are Scotland getting to? Congratulations,
Yeah, exactly.
they've qualified.
Yeah, exactly. McTominay absolutely flying for
Yeah.
Scotland, highest scorer in the Euros. So yeah.
But yeah, you've heard our predictions for the Euros.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's time for the predictions game.
Let's
go. It means that Premier League is back with a vengeance on Saturday, and we've got some big games coming up. We've got Liverpool versus Everton, Merseyside derby, Brentford Burnley, Bournemouth Wolves, Nottingham Forest Luton. God, they sound exciting.
Oh.
Man City versus Brighton. That is a good game.
That's a very good game.
Newcastle versus Palace, Chelsea Arsenal, and Sheffield United versus Man United. That completes our Saturday.
Yeah, it does.
Just one game for the Sunday. Aston Villa versus West Ham.
Not a bad game.
And then it's Tottenham versus Fulham on Monday night.
Yeah.
It's just going to be me and Matt with the predictions today. I believe.
We're getting Andy and Chris to send a little video.
Yeah, absolutely. Who are you going for?
I keep on pivoting, to be honest. Merseyside derby looks like quite fun. I kind of want to
Go
go
for it.
Liverpool, but yeah, you know what? I'm gonna go Liverpool. I haven't backed Liverpool at all this year. I don't think so, and I'm not really a massive Liverpool man. But yeah, I'm gonna go Liverpool 3-1. 3-1. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. I don't think they've lost to Merseyside derby in years. So yeah, why not? Yeah.
Very good. I'm going to go for a slightly, not one of the big guns,
No.
but it is going to be against Luton Town. I'm going for Nottingham Forest, and I'm going to go for a quite ballsy 4-0.
Jeez.
I think that Nottingham Forest are a really good team.
Completely agree.
And I'm going for Morgan
4-0.
Gibbs-White double, Chris Wood, and
Adebayo, what's his name?
Awoniyi. I
Awoniyi.
think he's injured. I think.
Is he?
Yeah. And then one of the defenders,
Hudson-Odoi?
McKenna.
No Hudson-Odoi.
No, Hudson-Odoi. We'll get a couple of assists there.
Yeah, he will. Yeah, he's very good.
So yeah, that's that.
Mhm.
Can't wait for the Prem to be back.
Yeah.
As you can hear the excitement in my voice now.
It's
Talking about
actually
Premier League.
changed, yeah. It's changed.
But we hope you enjoyed that. I hope you enjoyed something a little bit different. Please let us know your thoughts. And yeah, just I guess one more thing to say again.
What is it again? I can't remember.
Well, it's that it's on your head, son.
And then it's not off your head.
Son!
Hey!